beginnings. Today, I may find myself at the start of a new chapter or the last pages of an old chapter. No matter where I am in my story, I may wonder what it takes for it to unfold as it should. So I bookmark where I am in this moment. I breathe in unlimited possibilities before me, trusting that the divine guidance is close as my next breath, knowing I can feel within the answers to life's questions. I exhale, releasing all for the journey I have taken. No matter what the narrative may have been, God is my source. The pen is in my hand, and a new day is dawning for me. And I think that as we wake up each morning, now as our life is going by, it is indeed a new day. So today then, let's look into what might be called a new spirituality and what that would look like. However, when you think about it, there's nothing new in spirituality. So let's call it growing in spirituality. But before we can go there, I think it's really important that we understand what spirituality is. And it's not about religion. It's not about any religion's dogma. It has nothing to do with religion. Spirituality is how we live our lives. It is the commitment to the depth and compassion that connects each of us to the larger whole. Again, it's how we live our lives. It's a commitment to the life and death of compassion. It's contemplating the depths of your being and explaining life as it unfolds, moment by moment, with an open and curious heart and soul. Think about them. Think about that. Are we examining life as it unfolds, moment by moment, with an open and curious heart and soul? Socrates tells us an unexamined life is not worth living. Wow. This examination then of your life is the basis for awakening your inner self, accepting that there is indeed spirit within you, but also accepting that you are in spirit, always have been and always will be. So where does that bring us now? Humanity. Humanity is the point of evolution where we actually must, to preserve life as you want it to be committed to acknowledging this spirituality both within and without. This is all good and it's all true, but it even grows deeper to that. To grow and to recognize your spiritual potential is the process of maturing, spiritual maturity. And the best way to do that is to experience life. See, we need spiritually experience, a first-hand knowledge of life and reality with a capital R. So that reality with life is the reality with God. Experience firsthand the knowledge of life, and in that experience, the reality of what the divine presence is. We already have the basis and the foundation of this already because we're spiritual beings. We were born with that. But everything we have done and are doing will do as it's a course of our relationship to spirit and life itself. Whatever we're doing, we have to do it in relationship to life and to spirit. In New Thought, there is no medium between God and man. We're not saying that you have to go to someone for a savior. So there's no medium between God and man, and there's no medium between life and living, between heaven and hell, but an idea. No medium between heaven and hell, but an idea. But this idea has no value. It can take no action until it becomes an experience. So what is this spiritual experience? What does it mean to us? Spiritual experience is deep, it's calm, and it's self-assertive. It's the results of actually realizing that the presence which binds us all together is one complete whole. This universe is a complete whole, and we are held together by it, by this divine presence. That's our spiritual experience. It's deep, and it's calm, and it's assertive. So my friends, this is what I mean when I say we need a spiritual experience. All too often, myself included, we get caught up in this head stuff and we forget about the heart. But the heart of this New Thought teaching is allowing your life to move forward without judging. It's about allowing an ebb and a flow while remaining centered in this higher truth. And the higher truth, of course, is God is all there is. So in this very moment, this now is where it all begins. This day, this very day, we ask ourselves, this is what we have to start asking ourselves. How do we help our world? How do we contribute to create a world that works for everyone? Now, on the huge, big screen of life, I say, I don't know. But when you break it down to basics, I say it begins with me. It begins with you. It begins with all of us. It goes back to what we've experienced so far in life, knowing that when you and me and all of humanity have not offered up our best, and we know what days those are. But those are the days of inner turmoil and sleepless nights. Because what it signifies subconsciously to us is that we are walking away from love and walking towards fear. Sometimes it just comes down to, I'm not good enough, why try? But try we must. See, other times this despair comes from ignorance. You know, I was taught that ignorance is bliss. Well, I don't believe that anymore. I believe it's a distressful and hurtful thing. It is not bliss if you live your life with your head in the sand. All of us in this room and all of us listening right now, we could all go to the top of a mountain, and as long as we had some good fruit and veggies with us and some water, we'd be happy. We would be the nicest. We would be the kindest. We would be the most loving. Oh, namaste. But the trick is to come back down off that mountain into the world and be that person. And there's the catch-22. And another big factor in this world is that we are filled with hate and prejudice and greed and lack of forgiveness, a total disdain for humanity. That's sad because that is not our country. So all of this then, all of this has to start with us. Now, our spiritual path, our journey through this lifetime has taken a drastic change. Our government is upside down. We have a virus that really nobody knows what it is, how to cure it, how to keep us safe. We have a world that says, but you can't take my job away. I have to go back out to work, so I don't care about social distancing. And then we have police brutality, or even further than that, we have racists running rampant. And as far as I know, Lincoln freed the slaves. And I've just read all about that on purpose to see the thinking behind it. And even then, the attitude. And then to be in the year 2020 and still be in that attitude, it just upsets me. Somebody said to me, well, if you were in a street and walking down an alley and there were a black man behind you, wouldn't you be scared? And I said, if I was in the street at night and it was dark and anyone was walking behind me, white, black, male, or female, I would be scared. That's the difference between being racist and non-racist. If someone breaks in my house, I'm scared. I don't stop to think, well, do I have to be scared because it might be a black person? No, I'm just scared. We need to get over ourselves. Emerson says we need to get our bloated nothingness out of the way. And I believe that is so true. So it starts with us. It starts with us now. And in this mess of manure, I see a pony. Now, some of you might go, oh man, is she an optimist? Yeah, I am. Because why would I say that in this mess there's a pony? Why would I say that? Because right where we are now, the entire world has had a chance, a time to look within our own hearts and souls and ask the bigger questions. What have we done to our world, our country, our state, our cities, our towns? What have we done to our neighbors, our friends, our families? And the biggest question of all, what have we done to ourselves? What part did I play in all of this? We've all played a part in this. Now, this may sound downtrodden and bleak, but it's not. It's not. You know, Wayne Dyer tells the story of how hard his childhood was. I think there were 5 kids, and the father left the mother with 5 kids to support. And they had to fend for themselves. And Wayne Dyer grew up hating his father. And then when he became an adult and he found out that his father had died, he went to find the grave. And when he got to the graveside, this is what he said: I send you love. From this day forward, I send you love. Wayne was so filled with rage and hatred in his lifetime that he had severe nightmares, and he would wake up in cold sweats and be screaming in the night. But after he told his father, I send love to you, he never had a nightmare again. This is the answer. From this moment on, we start with ourselves. We send love. We realize that we are love, but we forget that we're love. Right now, we can jump back on our spiritual path to forgive ourselves first for whatever you think you did, and then move forward to forgive and love. This is the time that we walk away from fear and we walk to love, and we stay on that path. Remember, spirituality is how you live your lives. It's a commitment to the life and depth and compassion that connects us to this larger whole. We the people, I mean all nations, have done horrendous things to people, white people, black people, religious people. We've hurt people. We, all nations, have hurt people. We've stolen land. We've killed. So we ask ourselves, how did I get there? How did we get to this place in our time where we're going backwards and we're going back in hate and prejudice? How did we get there? It has to stop. It has to stop, and this is the year 2020. This is when newness, don't let that word doesn't want to come out today, folks. Newness wants to come forward. It has to. Now, I've been studying 4 presidents for the past month and how they're related. And one thing that caught my attention this week was from FDR, Franklin D. Roosevelt, and the way that when he became the president, and it was when there was the Depression in 1932 or 33, and he had to make a new deal. He promised the people a new deal. And it is amazing to read through how he did that and compared to when Lincoln did it. It's an amazing book. Make a new deal. We need to make a new deal with ourselves. We need to make a new deal of how we are going to leave today, or as you turn off your TVs and your phones today. How do you make a new deal for forgiveness, for love? Do you wake up depressed, angry, anxious? I am telling you, and you've heard me say it before, you can change this immediately by saying, good morning, God. It's me, Susie. I'm awake. I tell my cat every morning, say good morning to God. I tell my cat every night, don't forget to say your prayers, Minnie. It's important that we allow ourselves to wake up with some hope, some light, a beginning each day. And I'm here to tell you, you don't need 10 years of therapy to be able to say, thank God I'm alive. Just say it, and if you don't mean it, then fake it till you get there. Fake it till you make it. You don't need therapy for all of this. This teaching gives us the tools to work with, to grow with. You don't need therapy. You need love. You need forgiveness. Eckhart Tolle tells us this: you do not have to become good by trying to be good, but by finding the goodness that is always within you. And this is what I learned about myself. When I try so hard to be the person I want to be, I put so much pressure on myself that I have the opposite effect. Instead of being, I'm trying to be, and when you try to be, it doesn't work. If we go to the beloved first, the holy presence, to the divinity within, and reconnect with our hearts, we'll be able to know. And we'll be able to see and bring forward who we are. The reason we can't love our neighbor as ourselves, actually, we do love our neighbor as ourselves. So think about your neighbors and what relationship you have. We do actually love our neighbors just like ourselves. That's a different twist on that, isn't it? But I think it's more realistic. You know, we have people at two levels. We have the human, and then we have the divine. The closer each one of you and me are to the divine, is the closer we'll recognize the divinity in others. So when you're in front of that person that scratches your back the wrong way, you gotta look at yourself and say, there's something amok with the divinity right now within me, not the other person. So we have to grow in spirituality into our full self. We have to become light bearers. Each aha moment, each epiphany brings us closer to that profound moment. And don't think that this, what we call chaos, our world upside down, is such a bad thing, because we have to put it back together differently by loving everybody. And the challenge is we've never been taught to look at chaos and to look at a crisis as a profound time of transformation. That's what it is. This time right here in our lives is a profound, profound moment of transformation. So it's taken me this long to get to my point. And my point is, you're in the best years of transformation for your lives and for the world. Yes, there's been much suffering, but that suffering is open hearts, it's open doors. And I truly believe if you don't step on this path, you're going to be left behind, because there's newness coming. You can resist or you can move forward. It's up to you. It's totally up to you. So now, I ask you to go with me into a quiet place and settle down, and wherever you are, if you're comfortable, close your eyes and just have a moment of utopian peace. See a rainbow of every color in your mind's eye. Mix the colors together and make new colors, different colors. See the beauty of all the colors. Ten shades of white, 10 shades of yellow, 10 shades of green, 10 shades of black. In all the colors, there's beauty in all degrees of the colors. See them in your mind's eye. And as you're looking at the colors, see the colors morph into smiling children of many colors. See the smiles. Hear the laughter. I ask you within your heart space to feel the hope of the future as all God's children are filled with dreams for their lives. You're seeing a doctor, a shopkeeper, an astronaut, a minister, the president, a peacemaker, a caretaker. These are the dreams, hopes, plans to create a new world, a world of all nationalities, all color, all cultures, sharing their rituals, their traditions, their life, their love. See a world of unity, a world of peace, a world of love. And know this with me right now and right here, that you are a part of this new world because you made a difference. You accepted unconditionally all the colors of the rainbow and created so many more. Rejoice and be welcoming of all children of the world now and forevermore. And when you're ready and comfortable, whatever space you're in, whatever environment you're in, come back to that place and bring that love and that peace, that utopian peace with you. And now I'd like to thank you for being with us today, those of you that are here in the sanctuary and those of you who are all over. I know that Maine is in the picture, so hi, Allison and Stephen out there in Maine. Thank you for listening every week with us. And so as we pass the virtual and the real basket, we thank you again for all your support during this time away, and know that your love and support and your generosity is so appreciated by myself, your board of trustees, and all of your spiritual family. So thank you so much for that. And we have a few announcements coming up. Ariana Healing Prayer Circle begins back at the sanctuary January 10th at 11 o'clock. And the Zoom Book Club resumes again June 10th at the center at 12 noon. And the topics in this book club are separate each week, so if anyone wants to join, whether you have the book or not, haven't read the book, it's still a very exciting, and we share a lot of things in there, so all people are welcome to do that. The office, we reopen Tuesday, June 9th. Now, you must wear a mask, and you have to use hand sanitizer if you come in. And we also want to make you aware that if you come in groups, you have to distance, so no one hanging around the desk. You need to be 6 feet apart from each other. So, in Sunday celebration, June 14th, we will be here again at 10:30. And for those of you that are coming back into the sanctuary, same rules apply. You have to wear a mask, and you have to have your hands sanitized. And we have the chairs, as those of you who are here today can see, all spread apart. So for me, you have a wonderful week. I love you all. God bless you. And we'll see you next week.